we have Counselor Delicio or Holmes available? I don't see either of them on. Hello, Counselor Delicio. We're going to call zoning and land use to order in 4 minutes at 6:50. All right.
Very good.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 6:50 p.m. The committee is myself and Councilor Delicio, and we just have one item to vote out today, and that's from the docket of November 2nd, 2021. I move to declare the following as available for disposition in accordance with Section 2-11.2 of the city ordinances, the plus or minus 20,000 square foot piece of property located at Pond Street in the town of Seekonk that the city of Attleboro owns.
Second.
Motion's in order. This is just that small sliver of property that abuts the power lines over there on Pond Street in Seekonk. And yeah, it's fairly straightforward and encourage us to dispose of the property. So, any questions? Hearing none. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion opposed. Motion passes, and that concludes the business. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:51.
Councilor Cobus, can you hear me?
I can. Oh,
November 16,
sorry.
2021, in accordance with section 211.2 of the city ordinances, to declare what?
In accordance, so I'll just repeat it. In accordance with section 2-11.2 of the city ordinances, or I move to declare the following as available for disposition in accordance with section 2-11.2 of the city ordinances, the plus or minus 20.
I got it. I missed the top sentence. I was looking at the motion and I wasn't reading the top sentence.
And I had to adjust a little bit from what's written here. So
okay, good, super.
All right, thank you. And
available.
we adjourned at 6:51.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
plastic mat. So that
Good. Hi, everybody.
Hello, President Cooper.
Hi, President Cooper.
Todd, is your committee done?
Yes, all set.
All right, great. So we'll just wait a couple minutes and then we'll get started.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Kate.
Hey, Jay.
How are you?
You know, today's a really good day. Shopping's done.
There you go.
Sorry, I was muted, Kate. I was telling you that I've got 2 out of 5 in my department that are out on COVID. So every day is a good day. Every day is a blessing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. I hope they pull through just fine. But boy, I think there's 15 people in City Hall in Taunton that are out of work, working at home. And
Well,
I don't think there's more than 300 working. No, it's probably about 100. No, not even 100 in City Hall.
really, that many?
Probably 70 is my guess.
New way of life, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to go away. As a Rotarian, we've been trying to eradicate polio ever since I was a Rotarian. I became a Rotarian in 1991, I think, or 93. And they've raised millions and millions and millions and billions, and Gates from Microsoft has donated hundreds and hundreds of millions to match the funds. And it's eradicated in every country except for Afghanistan. And polio is never going away. And I don't think COVID's ever going away, but they sure seem awful fast in developing vaccines for it.
Well, let's hope they continue to work for all of us.
Okay, I have 7:01. So at this time, I call the municipal council to order at 7:01. Mr. Withers, would you kindly do a roll call attendance? Steve, can you hear me?
He's black on the screen.
He's coming on.
It's connecting.
Mhm.
Making an entrance on his last night.
I love it.
Oh, maybe. All right, so I'm gonna do. Oh. Steve, can you hear us? All right, so I'm gonna do it. Councilor Blair,
Here,
Councilor DeSimone,
Here.
Councilor Conti,
Present.
Councilor Waterman,
present.
Vice President Jackson,
Here.
Councilor Delissio,
Good evening.
Councilor Cobus,
Here.
Councilor Dolan,
Here.
Councilor Reynolds,
Here.
Councilor Holmes,
Present.
and me, 11 here. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 28th, October 26th, and November 2nd, 2021.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, and I'll start it with Councilor Holmes,
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds,
Yes.
Councilor Dolan,
Yes.
Councilor Cobus,
Yes.
Councilor Delissio,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Councilor Waterman,
Yes.
Councilor Conti,
Yes.
Councilor DeSimone,
Yes.
Councilor Blair.
Yes.
Motion passes. Those minutes are approved. I'm doing pretty good, Kate. You better watch out.
Oh, I'll say you certainly are.
I believe we have one public hearing this evening. And that public hearing notice is a public hearing regarding a no parking sign on a portion of Frank Mossberg Drive at Extension Street. Is there anyone here to speak? Is there anyone else on the, I do see some. Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Is there anyone here to speak in favor? Anyone in opposition? Anyone here neither for nor against? This is quite frankly just a formality. We did approve this, but we needed a public hearing. So we're moving to move swiftly through this. I don't anticipate, and I wasn't anticipating anyone coming to speak on this matter. And Councilor DeSimone, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I do not, thank you.
That public hearing is closed. Steve, are you there? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Hey, Steve, if you're there, I know the picture is blank, but you are muted, just so you know.
No, he can't. He's asking if I can hear him and I cannot.
Okay, thank you, Virginia.
Sure.
Thanks. So, hold on one second. Okay. All right. So, unless anybody objects, in the absence of the city clerk, I am just going to assign these by number with the exception of the emergency measure. Does anybody have a problem with that? Seeing none. December 21st, dear municipal councilors, item number 1, public works. Item number 2, personnel. Item number 3, public safety and emergency management. Item number 4, budget and appropriation. Item number 5, personnel. Item number 6, public safety and emergency management. Item number 7, personnel, veterans and human services. Item number 8, personnel, veterans and human services. Item number 9, personnel, veterans and human services. Item 10, public works. Item number 11, public works. Item number 12, public works. Item number 13, public works. Item number 14, budget and appropriation. Item number 15, city property and claims. Item number 16, capital improvements. Item number 17, capital improvement, city development. Item number 18, capital improvements and city development. And I am going to read for the record, item number 19. I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Budget and Administration, Jeremy Stool, regarding an appropriation from the stabilization. I gotta make this bigger, these eyes. From the stabilization fund into a capital project fund for the new Attleboro High School. In 2018, as part of the funding plan for the new Attleboro High School, the administration proposed using $1.2 million of available city resources for the project in an effort to lower the amount that would need to be borrowed. 3 separate votes to move $400,000 in free cash to the stabilization fund secured that plan. May 5th, 2020, item number 9, June 1st, 2021, item number 5, and 12/7/2021, item number 47. It is now time to appropriate that $1.2 million into the capital project fund to pay for part of the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, FF&E purchases necessary to make the new building a usable educational space. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $1.2 million from Fund 8455 Stabilization Fund to Fund 3419 Attleboro High School. Additionally, in an effort to lock in prices and execute purchase orders as quickly as possible, I am requesting this approval to be considered an emergency measure. Therefore, in accordance with Article 2, Section 2-9B of the City Charter of the City of Attleboro, I respectfully request your honorable body to consider this an emergency measure. And that's going to go to Budget and Appropriations Committee, and that is signed sincerely, Paul Haro, Mayor. And other communications, there was one item. And it was a letter from John Kenyon of Nova Farms to advise there will be a community outreach meeting for a proposed medical marijuana treatment center on January 11th, 2022 at the Attleboro Elks at 7 p.m. And that was an FYI and is a copy to all counselors. At this time, I would entertain a motion to go into committee of the whole.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, a roll. Steve, can you hear me now? I don't even see you. I think you're gone.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll start a roll call vote with Councilor Blair. Councilor Blair,
Yes.
DeSimone,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Delicio,
Yes.
Bobus,
Yes.
Dolan,
Yes.
Reynolds,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
and me, Cooper. We are now at committee of the whole. Is there anyone here that would like to address the city council on any matter of city business? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to arise.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll go in reverse order. Councilor Holmes,
Yes.
Reynolds,
Yes.
Dolan,
Yes.
Bobus,
Yes.
Delicio,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Delicio.
Nope. DeSimone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm a yes.
Oh, yeah, I can't read my own writing. I can't distinguish.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
See if they can hear me.
DeSimone,
Yes.
Councilor Blair,
Yes.
and myself, yes, that's a motion passes 11-0. We are now on to,
I think I'm back. President
Oh.
Cooper.
you are, welcome back.
Where we at?
Yay, here we are. We are moving right along here tonight, Steve.
Okay.
And we are at committee reports, and we are going to start with Councilor Blair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket of December 21st, 2021. I move to transfer $68,354.22 to cover the costs of filling 11 vacancies in the police department from account 11241-000-578300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to the following: $40,700 to account 12101-000-532012 Police Academy tuition, $11,000 to account 12101-000-558310 Police uniforms, $14,815.57 to account 12101-000-530110 for police medical consultations, and $1,838.65 to account 121-000-558208 police supplies.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional questions or comments?
No, we talked about it length last week in committee.
Thank you. Any from the council? Seeing none, Mr. Withers, I think the roll call vote begins with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of December 7th, 2021. I move to appropriate $200,000 from account 1000-359-000 undesignated fund balance free cash general government to fund 3560 public safety assessment and feasibility.
second,
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, I think we had a nice meeting last week. We had the two chiefs in. And we had head of the building committee, Jeremy Stone, and the mayor all spoke. I hope that they satisfied any questions that any of the councilors had. I thought it was very productive and informative.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Great. Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
I believe I skipped right over the second one, Mr. President. From
You
the
did.
docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $32,100.89 to account 1220100-511000 via salary and wages to make an earned time payment to an employee who has retired.
second,
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional?
Excuse me, I do just have a comment. I think it was read incorrectly because it's supposed to be from account 1000-35900 undesignated fund balance to the account. So I think it has to be reread for the record.
You want me to read the accounts to and from again, Coop?
So, Councilor Jackson, it was, it's just a friendly amendment to account fire salaries and wages, right?
From account to account, yes, because he just said to account. He didn't say from account.
Yes. So just a friendly amendment to go from account
Yes.
undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government to fire salary and wages.
Correct.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep. That, we'll just take that. I'll take that as a friendly amendment. And Councilor Blair, any additional questions?
No,
Okay.
it's contractual. That's my only comment.
Thank you. Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, a roll call vote will begin with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes. Who seconded that motion?
Councilor Delissio.
Yeah, Jay.
Okay,
thank you. I have no other business this evening. Will we request a committee meeting next year at the appropriate time?
yes, thank you. Councilor DeSimone.
Thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for Traffic and Transportation Committee, I have 4 pieces of business for the council this evening. I move to strike the following from the docket of April 20th, 2021, a petition from Bourne Avenue residents requesting permanent speed humps on Bourne Avenue.
second,
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, I think it was fairly discussed last week.
Thank you. Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, President Cooper. I move to strike the following from the docket of January 7, 2020, to restrict parking 20 feet on either side of residential entrances and egresses on Commerce Way adjacent to the New England Sports Village.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, President Cooper.
Thank you. A roll call vote will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, President Cooper. The third item is not, in fact, what's represented in the motions. That was an error that I missed until recently. So I'm going to just read into the record the piece of business that was struck from committee last week. I move to strike the following from the docket of November 20th, 2018. To amend section 10-4.15, operation of heavy commercial vehicles by adding May Street from Washington Street to Newport Avenue.
second,
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No, President Cooper.
Great. Roll call vote will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
No.
No. 10 yeas, 1 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And lastly, I move to strike the following from the docket of December 3rd, 2019. Request to review La Salette Shrine holiday traffic issues.
second,
Second.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments?
No, President Cooper.
Thank you. A roll call vote will begin with, I believe, Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, President Cooper. That concludes the business of traffic and transportation for this evening. We look forward to a meeting next year.
I have the last one for Rathman Willow Drive. Are you holding that one?
Oh, yeah, that was the one that was in error. That should not be on there. That was not in fact voted out of committee.
Okay. Good.
I thought you might agree with that.
Thank you. And I'll just fair warning to all of you, I will be back. If that road opens before that light is in, you will see this face and lots of neighbors at the meeting. Just so you know. That concludes your business, and you called for a committee meeting next year at the appropriate time?
Yes, President Cooper.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving right along, Councilor Conti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, we have 2 items to bring before the council this evening. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to hold a public hearing on January 18th, 2022 to discuss waiving the building permit fees for the roof replacement for the fire department headquarters and the Briggs Corner Station.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
By January 18th, I'll have an estimate of what those fees will be.
Thank you, Richard. Any additional comments? Seeing none, the roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Blair,
Yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to transfer $7,000 from the account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to the account Council on Aging Building Maintenance to replace the master fire alarm box at the senior center.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments, Councilor Con?
It was fully discussed during a committee meeting. This is just a code requirement, and it's very necessary. I urge all my councilors to support it.
Thank you. Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes.
Did I miss somebody?
Yes,
Who?
yes,
Kathleen.
Who'd I miss?
I'm rubbing off on you.
D Simone, D-E, capital
Oh,
S.
Kathleen,
Yes, and I'm a yes.
Yes, 11
Yes,
yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes the business that the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee has to bring before the council this evening. We look forward to our next meeting next year at the appropriate time.
Thank you. Counselor Waterman.
yes. Reporting from the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee. There are 9 motions that I'm going to present tonight. One motion I will carry over till our first meeting after the new council forms next year, and that is the motion regarding gentlemen to the planning board. And if anybody wants to talk about that with me, they may. First, from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I would move to confirm the following reappointments. Eileen Struminski to the Council on Substance Abuse Prevention, term to expire, it's 3-year term, February 2024, and Ron Struminski, Council on Substance Abuse Prevention, 3-year term, also February 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
These are 2 great people, and they're re-upping for another term, and I'm all for it.
Great. Any other questions or comments? A roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
and from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to accept the donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards to the Veterans Services Office from the American Legion Auxiliary 312.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing when people want to help out like that.
Yeah, a roll call vote will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
and also from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to accept an anonymous donation of $200 in Stop and Shop gift cards to the Veterans Services Office.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No, none needed.
A roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
and from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to accept the donation of $600 in food gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee to the Veterans Services Office.
second,
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Just that I'm really proud of the work that our Holiday Spirit Committee does for the city. And that ends my comments there.
Thank you. The roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And also from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to accept the donation of $825 in food gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee to the Health Department Outreach Program.
second,
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Well, our health department deals with a lot of people who are on the down and out and folks who really need the help and they can use the food. So that's a good thing we're doing.
Thank you. A roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion,
And, excuse me. And from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the appointment of Jessica Lee Jones, 708 Newport Avenue, to fill an expired term on the Disability Commission, term to expire February 2024.
Second.
thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Jessica will be a great addition to the Disability Commission.
Great. A roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds, Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
And
Thank
from
you.
the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the appointment of Stephen Lemay, 33 Pentecostal Way, to fill an unexpired term as a constable, term to expire February 2022.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
That Stephen will do the job and he'll do it well.
Roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And also from the docket, from the docket of December 7th, 2021, I move to approve the appointment of Peter Connolly, 27 Rambler Road, to fill an expired term on the Traffic Study Commission, term to expire February 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I find Peter to have some unique and very interesting skills in this area, and I'm sure the Traffic Study Commission will benefit from his appointment.
Thank you. A roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And finally, from the docket of December 7th, 2021, I move to approve the appointment of Jacqueline De Silva, 32 Dexter Street, to fill an expired term on the Board of Election Commissioners, term to expire February of 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Additional comments?
Jackie has had a long history of service to our city, and I think we're very fortunate, interested in being on the election commissioners.
Great. A roll call vote will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And that concludes the business of the Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee. We'll meet next year.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, Vice President Jackson,
Thank you, President Cooper.
you're welcome.
Reporting for the Public Works Committee from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $41,991 from the undesignated fund balance-free cash general government account to the Recreation Outdoor Facility Improvements account to replace aging and worn picnic tables and benches at the South Attleboro Veterans Memorial Park and Ponson Hewitt.
second,
Thank you, Councilor Delisi.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I do not have any this evening.
Great. Roll call will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delisi,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes.
And
Did I
Mr.
miss someone
Waterman,
again?
you missed
Mr.
Ty.
Waterman. I'm sorry.
Yes, the answer
11
is
yeas,
yes.
0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
I think Steve's on retirement mode already.
I'm there.
I know you are, Steve. I'm
It's
just,
very unnerving tonight, so.
no worries, no worries. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to transfer $10,695 from the citywide reserve fund for transfer account to the Public Works equipment account to purchase a truck mounted berming gravel thrower box attachment.
second,
Thank you, Lucio. Oops,
Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none.
Thank you. A roll call will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delisi,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes,
Conti.
No,
You say no?
I said no.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes.
10 yeas, 1 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $88,000 from the undesignated fund balance free cash general government account to the continuing appropriate recreation site improvement account to construct 3 pickleball courts at Finberg Field.
second,
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you.
Delisi.
Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I
Councilor
have,
Day.
no, I do not. Thank you very much, President Cooper.
Thank you. Any comments from the council? Seeing none, a roll call vote will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Delisi,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $33,000 from the undesignated fund balance free cash general government account to the continuing appropriate recreation site improvements account to upgrade field lighting at Haywood, Walsh, and Owsley Field.
second,
Thank you, Councilor. Steele.
Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none.
Seeing none, a roll call vote will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Delisi,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $10,639 from the undesignated fund balance free cash general government account to the recreation equipment account to purchase a Genie model AWP-30S scissor lift.
second,
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none. Thank you.
Roll call will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delizio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 20, 2021, I move to appropriate $26,792 from undesignated fund balance-free cash general government account to the recreation equipment account to purchase a Toro Sand Pro 3040 infield groomer and edger.
second,
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No,
A roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
yes,
Mr. Delizio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
yes,
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to appropriate $34,627 from the undesignated fund balance-free cash general government account, recreation equipment account to purchase a John Deere 3038E compact utility tractor with attachments.
second,
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
None, I have none.
A roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
yes,
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delizio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. Thank you to all of you. That was good that we're moving up on the capital improvement list. I'm happy that we're all able to do that together. I have a couple more motions, but they're to strike, but they're not to be stricken from the docket itself. We'll still have them. We'll know that we have these letters in our communication along the way, whoever takes over with Public Works, and once they discuss what's going to happen with the winter parking ban. So I'm just striking this from my committee, and it was only because I wanted to clean everything up to start over for the new person who takes over for Public Works, okay? So from the docket of December 17th, 2019, I move to strike the following: a communication from Robert Peterson stating the winter parking ban is outdated.
second,
Thank you, Councilor Delizio.
Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I do not.
Thank you. Any from the councils? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Delizio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
yes,
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. And again, these other two, the same exact. From the docket of December 17, 2019, I move to strike the following: a communication from Haley Fisk suggesting the winter parking ban is unnecessary.
second,
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none.
Seeing none, the roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes,
Mr. Delizio,
yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
yes,
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 17, 2019, I move to strike the following: a communication from George Jackson suggesting an as-needed parking ban.
second,
Thank you.
Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none.
Roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
With that, I have no further business this evening or any other evening, that is, for the Public Works Committee. Thank you all. But I'd like to call for a Public Works Committee next year at the appropriate time for the committee chair.
Thanks, Kate. Counselor Delissio.
thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for budget appropriations. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to authorize the payment of previous year bills totaling $880 to the police department. No transfers needed as there is sufficient funding in Fund 3335.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Briefly, this is just to pick up what wasn't covered by the 911 grant.
Great. Any additional comments from the council? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan.
Yeah.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to authorize the Attleboro schools to pay $5,544.98 to the following fiscal 21 bills. I've requested waiving of the reading as they were read last week.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
I have none.
Thank you. A roll call vote will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to transfer $45,000 from account citywide reserve fund for transfer to account treasurer professional services for the treasurer to pay attorney fees for the remainder of fiscal 21.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Just briefly, because it is a relatively large dollar amount, this is for the treasurer to be able to pay for the attorney fees for tax title. This should create enough revenue where it pays itself back by the end of the fiscal year.
Great. Thank you. Any additional questions from the council? Seeing none, a roll call vote will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Conti,
yes,
Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes,
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you, President Cooper. From the docket of November 2nd, 2021, I move to approve the expenditure of $4,779,223.54 through the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, and any future grant amendments.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments or questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that this took a month and a half to pull out of committee for a very direct reason. It's because we wanted to figure out what it can and can't be used for. This number matches what's already in the fund. So this gives the council a little bit more oversight on how those ARPA funds will be used. And I think it increases and helps communication between the council and the administration in this very particular situation with how those funds will be used.
Great. Any additional questions from the council? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. D. Simone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to adopt the following emergency preamble, that the Attleboro Municipal Council vote to take action as provided in the city charter, section 2-9, subchapter B, subsection B, regarding the deadline emergency which presently exists, and appropriate $1,200,000 from account 8455-599000 stabilization fund, other uses, financing uses, to account 3419-499500 AHS transfer from stabilization.
Second.
Good.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments on the emergency preamble?
Yes, President Cooper, I'm going to make my comments for both motions now. I think we all cringe whenever we see an emergency measure. Why wasn't this brought down earlier? Blah, 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 the whole thing. I spent time talking with Deb Gould and Jeremy Stahl about why this is indeed an emergency measure. As we know, we've spent the last 3 years appropriating $400,000 from free cash to the stabilization, so it would equal the $1.2 million for furniture for asbestos remediation. Right now, we're in a situation where we need to lock our purchase orders in. If we don't lock the purchase orders in by January 1st, we will see an increase of 5%. And the reason it's an emergency is because this is the last meeting of the year. So it really comes down to timing. And I do urge that this council pass this emergency preamble and then ultimately the motion itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional comments or questions? Seeing none, a roll call vote will begin. Council Holmes, did you have a question?
I had a quick question. If I may, President Cooper.
So just, if this is to whether or not to declare it an emergency, then fine.
I can wait until after we declare the emergency.
Thank you. Council Holmes, did you have a question?
I was just saying that somebody was raising their hand.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. The roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Blair,
yes,
Ms. D. Simone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the appropriation of $1,200,000 from account stabilization fund, other uses, to account AHS transfer from stabilization due to a pending deadline. This is considered an emergency measurement.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments? Councilor Coates.
The only comment I have is I just wanted to, when I was talking to Deb, she pointed out that this is what the intended use of the stabilization, that $1.2 million was. So it does fall in line with what the intended use was.
Thank you. Councilor Cobus.
I'm happy to vote this through and approve it tonight. Councilor Delissio, if I may request that, I'd like to see the quotes for this. We came up with the administration came up with the 1.2 million estimate a long time ago, and a lot's changed since then. So I'd love to understand that things are the same, that understand more what that quote looks like as we get closer to spending the money. So if I can reach out to Jeremy independently, but I don't want to hold it up tonight. So that concludes my comments.
Through the chair to Councilor Cobus, if I may. Yeah, I think the $1.2 million was a specific dollar amount, which was decided upon and introduced to this council back in 2018 by former Budget and Administration Director Barry Lacasse, in order to ease the burden for the high school project on the taxpayer. The other thing to keep in mind, especially with these purchase orders, that not one of them goes through to payment without Deb Gould scrutinizing over each and every purchase order, whether it's this or one for a box of pens. Deb's office is going to scrutinize over every single purchase order. What I would suggest is We can definitely reach out to Jeremy or Deb or even Carol Brown to get those purchase orders once they're locked in. But the reality is we needed to get these locked in order to, because if you think about it, the amount of the furniture as read into the memo initially was 3.6, not to exceed $3.6 million. If that goes up by 5%, we're looking at an additional $180,000 that would have to pay on top of this.
I think to piggyback off of that, Jay, the $1.2 million originally proposed was an offset of the overall cost. It wasn't $1.2 million to pay for asbestos and furniture and whatnot. So I think the mantra has been on time and on budget, and I haven't heard anything other than that. So I don't know if there have been, because we did the offset with Highland Park and bought the steel and stored it early and all the things that we did, we were able to maintain the original budget. So I'm okay with it, but I think to your point, Councilor Cobus, just an overall update on where we are to the council might be something worth having in the new year as the school comes to completion in the next 9 or 10 months. That concludes my comments, and any additional comments? Councilor.
Yeah, if I may, thank you. Just to add one real quick point, this isn't going to address all of the expenditures. There still might be some that's, you know, a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there, but the project is built where the 249 million will be able to absorb those, and the 5% on 5,000 is a lot more. It's a lot easier for us to absorb that than 180,000.
Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, the roll call will begin with Councilor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. That does conclude the business for budget and administration, but I do just want to take a second and wish President Cooper, Vice President Jackson, Steve Withers, City Clerk Withers, the best of luck in your next chapters. Thank you for all three being someone that I've relied heavily on upon my tenure. So you'll all be missed, and wish you all the best. That being said, I would like to cancel the budget appropriations meeting for next week rather, and call for one for 2022 at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Councilor Cobus.
Thank you, President Cooper. Reporting for the Zoning and Land Use Committee. We have 3 items tonight. From the docket of December 7th, 2021, I move to approve the following. To accept per section 16-2.2 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro as amended, the layout of Blue Pride Way as a public way, approximate length of 700 feet from station 0+11 to station 6+99.97, as shown on a plan and profile entitled City of Attleboro Layout Plan and Profile, Blue Pride Way, from the intersection of Rathbun Willard Drive to the intersection of Rathbun Willard Drive, dated October 14th, 2021, prepared by Daniel F. Fleming, PLS, and Alicia A. Zerkowski, PE.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
We had the public hearing back on the 7th. Encourage everybody to support this so that the new Attleboro High School could be at, the address could be Blue Pride Way.
Great, thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of November 2nd, 2021, I move to declare the following as available for disposition in accordance with section 2-11.2 of the city ordinances, the plus or minus 20,000 square foot piece of property located at Pond Street in the town of Seekonk that the city of Attleboro owns.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
Fairly self-explanatory. It's a little tiny piece of property.
A roll call vote will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
And finally, from the docket of September 7th, 2021, I move to approve the layout of a portion of Nickel Avenue, length of 486.50 feet from station 0 to station 4 plus 86.50 as a public way, and accept said way and any related drainage, water, or sewer facilities or easements, all is shown on a plan and profile entitled Roadway Acceptance Plan of Nickel Avenue in Attleboro, Massachusetts, dated July 6, 2018, prepared by Sean Michael Leach, PLS, which plan has been deemed satisfactory to the Superintendent of Public Works.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
None.
Seeing none, a roll call will begin with Council Blair.
Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
yes,
Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. That concludes the business of the Zoning and Land Use Committee, and I call for committee meeting next year.
Thank you. The plans will be in City Hall as of tomorrow to sign, for everybody to go by and quickly sign them. Thank you, Council Cobus. Councilor Dolan.
Thank you. Reporting for License Committee, I have 4 items this evening. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the automatic amusement device license application from the American Legion Post 312 on Newport Avenue for 1 pool table and 1 jukebox.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No comments.
Thank you. A roll call will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
I think he stepped down.
is he there? Did he step away?
Stepped away.
Okay, Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the automatic amusement device license for Junior's Bar and Grill at 147 Pine Street for 1 pool table and 1 jukebox.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
No comments.
A roll call will begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
You
is
muted.
he back? Was he back? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, he was.
sorry about that.
Was that a yes?
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to approve the Class 2 license application from Seekonk Gas and Repair DBA 123 Mobile at 300 County Street with 4 customer parking spaces and 9 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
No comments.
Thank you. A roll call vote will begin with Council Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
yes,
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
yes,
Ms. DeSimone,
yes,
Mr. Blair,
yes,
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of September 7th, 2021, I move to approve the revocation of the Class 2 license for R&D Motors at 116 Dickens Street.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments, Counselor Dolan?
Yes. So we discussed this in committee last week. I know most of you, I believe, were here. So, you know, I told my fellow council members that I was struggling with this and how I felt about every aspect of between what his lawyer said, between the Rhode Island RMV, that Mr. Billy Goodwin that spoke. And then we did receive some information from his attorney, Danny Martinez's attorney, Danny Martinez himself and such. And again, I just reached out for you all to help me make a decision here. And I did say that I will not be voting to revoke his license. As I stated last week, the Rhode Island RMV did take him off the do not process list. He does not have any charges pending or that any that were filed at all. He does not have any customer complaints. His attorney vowed to help him, assist him with paperwork. I believe, and that was also submitted, that a checklist. Billy Goodwin stated that he would assist him as well. So like I stated, I won't belabor the point. We talked about it a lot. And so I won't be voting to revoke his license tonight. And that's it for now.
Thank you. Mr. Withers, just to let the record reflect that Counselor Delissio is abstaining from the vote and the discussion.
Okay. Got it.
Any additional comments? Counselor Reynolds?
So I mentioned last week myself that I am not going to hold this back, that I'm going to give this gentleman, I'm going to call it a fighting chance, because as far as I can see, after speaking to his attorney and the gentleman at the RMV, he definitely, from a head injury, has a learning disability. I'm not willing to just at this point yet throw him under the bus unless I can see whether he can make an improvement in the next 6 months. So that's, even though we have to pass it for a year, we were told that, you know, we can review it every 3 months, every month, every 6 months, whatever we choose to do. But I'm concerned that he does have a real issue, and I'm willing to throw it out there for another shot. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Counselor DeSimone and Waterman.
thank you, President Cooper. This was a tough one for me. I've gone back and forth, but in light of the fact that there's only 10 days left in December, and I am concerned that this is a person's livelihood. And I believe he said, or somewhere it was mentioned, that this person has kids. So for the revocation only, I'm going to vote to not revoke it. But if the new license comes up, that's a whole new discussion, in my opinion. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for the next 10 days and then take the issue up again in the new year. So that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Counselor Waterman.
Just one other item. I was very impressed by his lawyer, and I think she knew where his strengths lay and where his weaknesses lay, and she had offered to be there for him and to assist in any way possible. And for that reason, as well, I'm going to vote no on the revocation.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing none, Counselor Jackson, I'm going to pass it over to you so that I can make some comments.
Well, thank you, President Cooper. My
Thank you. So hold on for 1 second. I have to find my I can't find, but I think I know what it is. Here it is. So I will not be supporting it. And I will not support it for several reasons. One is we've been down this road before with the same attorney. Who is making the commitment to monitor this? Which one of the 10 of you was saying, we're going to do this and we're going to audit and we can and we can and we can and we can and we can. Who's making the commitment to do that publicly? Anybody? Nobody. Okay. The people affected in that pile of paper must have kids and family. So one of them that must have been affected by the business practice that was demonstrated to us. So I'm feeling for the consumer, which is what we're here to do. We have all felt in different times for the plight of Mr. Martinez and his business practice. And the only reason it passed the last time was because I was the last guy to vote. And for that reason, as the council president, the sitting council president, I will not allow this council to issue the license form or to vote on this matter, whether to revoke or not. And for that reason, I am going to charter object per section 2.9 course of proceedings of the city charter. So if you'd like me to do that now, I'm happy to, or I can wait until you move to the vote, Vice President Jackson.
Thank you, President Cooper. Any other comments? With that, we'll have a roll call vote
No,
beginning.
we will not. Point of order.
I'm sorry.
Point
Excuse
of
me.
order.
Yes, please.
You've called for the vote. And at this point in time, I am going to exercise section 2.9 of the city charter and charter object to this matter. That ends the discussion for at least 7 days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have a charter objection. Moving right along, I'm going to move my chair over to President Cooper.
Thank you. Back to you, Councilor Dolan.
That's all the business the license committee has this evening, and I will call for a committee meeting next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. From the reporting for the City Property and Claims Committee from the docket of December 21st, 2021, I move to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. A copy machine, it's a Canon IR 2800, and it's in very poor condition.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments?
We have none.
Thank you. Roll call will begin with Councilor Blair, I believe.
Yeah, Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes. Is she there? Ms.
Sorry,
Holmes?
yes. Sorry.
Okay, President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That is all the business that City Property and Claims Committee has this evening, but I would like to hold a committee meeting at the next appropriate time, which will be 2022.
Thank you. Councilor Holmes.
Thank you. Ordinance, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee has no business this evening, but we'll call for a committee meeting next year.
Great, thank you. Counselor, two pieces of old business, and for that, I will recognize Councilor Jackson.
Thank you very much, President Cooper. Just want to make sure I'm not muted. So we have two pieces of old business, and they were simply to correct Scrivener's errors. So I entertain a motion from the docket of December 7th, 2021. Roll call vote number 7 should have the description of what funds can be used for. So it's more for a clarity reason. So it's voted on roll call, 11 yeas, 0 nays to appropriate $70,000 from the undesignated fund balance free cash general government account to the following funds to replenish monies used and needed for apparatus maintenance and repairs. There was vehicle maintenance, fire and major vehicle repairs, and employee training.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
None.
Thank you. A roll call. Any comments from the council?
Who was the second on that? I'm sorry.
Counselor Delicio.
Thank you.
A roll call vote will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. I also entertain a motion from the docket of December 7th, 2021. Again, another Scribner's error. It should have the description of what the funds can be used for, what types of trucks. And it was vote number 24 and is voted on a roll call, 11 yeas, 0 nays, to appropriate $309,149 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government account to purchase the following: 2 medium-duty 6-wheel dump trucks and 2 pickup trucks from account Public Works dump trucks and Public Works replacement trucks.
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Delicio.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments?
I have none. Thank you.
Thank you. A roll call will begin with Counselor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
Yes.
Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. That concludes my business this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. There's one piece of new business, and for that, I will recognize Counselor Delicio.
Thank you, President Cooper. I entertain a motion to refer for study and recommendation the following. The Attleboro Historical Commission is seeking a historic preservation consultant to assist in ranking the city's existing historic resources inventory that is included in the inventory of Massachusetts Historical Commission. The ranking will take into account the importance of the historic properties at local, state, and national levels. It will also prioritize historic preservation actions for the historic properties. Public Archaeology Laboratory of Pawtucket, Rhode Island will offer the scope of services for $10,008. Public Archaeology Laboratory is also known as PAL.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any additional comments, Counselor Delicio?
Yeah, really briefly, I've been working with Marion Wrightington on this, and this is something that her, the mayor, and I decided it would make sense to introduce through this way, go through the channels for study and recommendation. As we know, anyone who's ever worked with Marion knows how passionate she is about the history of this great city we live in, and this is just a way to help to preserve some of that history.
Thank you. Any additional comments? And again, this is just to introduce the new business. A roll call vote will begin with Counselor Holmes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Mr. Delicio,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
President Cooper,
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes, and that will matter will go to Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please. And that concludes the new business for this evening. I have one additional matter before we adjourn, and that is a resolution of appreciation for Stephen K. Withers Sr. And I'm going to read it, and Virginia has the actual plaque at City Hall and can give it to Steve. So whereas Stephen K. Withers Sr. was first elected to the Municipal Council as a councilor in November of 1997 and was officially sworn into office in January of 1998, serving through 1999. And whereas Steve served as the chair of the Municipal Development Committee, vice chair of the Finance Committee, and member of the Personnel Committee. And whereas Steve has served the city in a number of capacities, but most recently he was elected in 2015 to serve as the city clerk, January 2016 through 2021. And whereas Steve leaves his mark on the city of Attleboro with his volunteerism and dedication to the city, and his participation will be felt for years to come in Attleboro. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Municipal Council of the City of Attleboro wishes to extend its deepest appreciation for all Steve's hard work and dedication, and wishes Steve good health and happiness in all his new endeavors. Signed and sealed this 21st day of December by me, Mark J. Cooper, Council President.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Thank you, President Cooper, and thank you, everybody. Seriously, I sincerely mean it. It's been a pleasure, and I am looking forward to wandering off into the sunset. But I do appreciate it. I've enjoyed it, and thank you, everybody, for all your support. I sincerely mean that. And Mark, it's been a pleasure working under you as a council president. So,
thank you. I appreciate that, Stephen. And from me to all of you, thank you very much for the last 10 and a half years. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was a necessary one. And so we are, I am thankful to my family and all my supporters. And, it's been quite an experience having come to the city and joined the Conservation Commission, because Judy Robbins said to me, "I like your attitude," when I had a barking dog on my back porch for the first house I bought in the city of Attleboro off of Highland Avenue. And they said they wouldn't come pick the dog up in the middle of the night because there was no budget and I could drive it over to Pond Street. And I called the mayor's office, and poor Sonny Almeida had to call me back the next day. And I said, "Sonny, I like you, but I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the mayor." And I said to her, "Mrs. Mayor, this is what's going to happen the next time that dog comes onto my porch. I'm going to drive it to your house on Ashburn Place. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go up on your porch, and I'm going to see how much money we have in the budget to come get a stray dog off of your porch." And she said, "I like your attitude. How about you join the Conservation Commission?" And I said, "Very well, let's do it." So that's how it started. And then I went to the planning board, as you know, and then came to the council. I also had lots of words of wisdom from Judy, who came to me in 2007 and said, "Don't give up." And then when I won, she said, "With every vote, you gain an enemy." And I never forgot those words, because not everyone agrees. I said, but I think we as a group have managed to learn about each other in a way that allowed us to work with each other. And so I'm challenging all of you to continue to do that. And I will be watching. And if I don't like what I see, I'll be back, just like Judy came back. Right? Any of you that know Judy's history, she left as the city council president and she came back and ran for mayor. So be careful. And no, George Rhodes, do not call me tomorrow and ask me if this is a formal announcement. It is not. I'm going to be watching. If I don't like what I see, I'll be back. With that said, I do want to make sure that we don't lose sight of several things as you all take over. And one of them is the light at Rathbun Willard Drive. And I'm going to give you some history on the light at Rathbun Willard Drive. It came from former Ward 2 councilor. No, I think he was an at-large councilor. Or Ward 2. No, it was Ward 2. Tony Viveris came to Walter Thibodeau and I in the back of the council chamber one night and said, "We got to put a light at Rathbun Willard Drive." I drive my wife to Studley often enough, and it's a disaster. So and I mean it, we made commitments to that neighborhood that we were going to put a light there on Black Oak and on the other side and at Green Street. We have to do it before we open that street, or I'm going to rally all those neighbors that we made that commitment to. You'll need to have the meeting at the high school. I'm telling you right now, you'll need to have the meeting at the high school. You got to put the light there. The other thing we have to do is we made a commitment to sell the schools. And I know we wanted to preserve the facade at the old high school. We may still want to preserve elements of that school, but it's time to look at it again. So I did ask the mayor to send that down to the council to remove the facade restriction, but I challenge all of you to look at that and see what value that brings to the city, because it doesn't bring us any sitting there falling apart. The other thing is the celebration of the Attleboro High School and making sure we maintain what we build, right? Maintain what we build. To use Peter Blair's thing, if you're not going to maintain it, don't build it. So we spent a lot of money there, maintain the building and fund that. To Richard's thing, he's always chirping fresh air and sunlight for capital improvements. We have to continue to do that. And I appreciated that mantra for many years, Richard, and don't give it up. If the city's not lucky enough for you to be chair of that committee next year, whoever does, if you're the vice chair of that committee or wherever you sit, I hope you continue that mantra, because it's been an important one and it's gotten some traction and it's gotten some attention and things are moving because of it. Last on my list, to my friend Virginia, who won't hear from me several times a week. Thank you for all that you do for the council. And I want to remind all of you, as the council president, go away and you get a new one. Virginia reports to the council president. She's not everybody's secretary. Remember that. Just remember that. We all have homework to do. We all have committee minutes to send in. Whoever you want to do it, get it done. But she's not your personal secretary. And we've overcome mountains having to do these meetings remotely. And I've appreciated everyone's flexibility. And I've even from time to time gotten some scrutiny because I didn't go back into City Hall. I tried to, but I got some scrutiny, and I got some scrutiny from members of the public around not wearing masks, but I did measure 6 feet away from everybody, those that came into attendance. So I appreciated everyone's flexibility with regard to what we overcame to continue the city business for the citizens of the city. And to soon-to-be Madam Clerk Jackson, good luck in your new position. And to any of you, lastly, any of you that have a question, a comment, a problem, call me. You all know how to get me. Call me, and I'm happy to help as you navigate through the next 2 years. Thank you very much. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any additional comments or questions?
Thank
Merry
you, Mark.
Christmas. Happy New Year.
Congratulations, all.
Thank you. Thank you. A roll call vote will begin with Councilor Blair.
This is the last one right here. Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. DeSimone,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Vice President Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Mr. Cobus,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
President Cooper.
No.
10 yeas, 1 nay.
Thank you. Motion passes. We are adjourned for the final time at 8:26 p.m. Good night and happy holidays.
Bye.
You're a
Yeah.
stinker.